Did you get ready in the dark or something? 'Cause you look like a beautiful nightmare.
Hello, my lovely YouTube watchers. How are you guys? I am so excited to be doing this mid-October special. I'm just in my happy place when I can sit in the comfort of my own home and get on camera and do these tarot readings and just kind of channel messages for you and throw some insights your way, new perspectives, ways of thinking about things, and I don't know. It's just it's just a moment that I really enjoy and appreciate. I feel like I probably could do it more often. You know, I mean, the circumstances of my life right now don't really allow me to do it more often, but you know, it's still nice being able to do it every once in a while and just kind of grow the channel slowly. I don't even really like the idea of, you know, of things moving too quickly when it comes to like new projects that I start or like businesses or like anything like that. I do have, you know, other jobs where, you know, I work for somebody else and I'm making money and stuff like that. And that's okay. You know, that's okay. I have a pretty, for the most part, I would say I have a lot of freedom, you know, with the type of work I do. And I get to kind of like decide when I want to work and where and all that type of stuff. So it's nice. But anyway, yeah, I do. So in my October 2021 tarot reading, if you guys watch that, if you are a returning subscriber, I mentioned that I was hoping to get around to doing mid-October readings. So this is it. Okay, so I'm doing mid-October. It's going to be mid-October up and through the end of October. So it is a Halloween special as well, because I am doing something a little bit more, I guess you can say, Halloween related, in the sense that it allows you to maybe explore sides of yourself that maybe you haven't thought about before, or you haven't explored before, or you haven't discovered, or things that maybe you are needing to face, okay? And all of this is going to be talked about when I get into the reading that I'm going to do, okay? So there is going to be a little bit of a story time before I actually get into the tarot reading, so just a heads up. If you want to skip forward and just look at the tarot reading, by all means, go ahead. But what I'm going to read to you is very significant to the reading itself, and it's also significant to the full moon that's coming on October 19th, okay? So as you can see from the title, it's mid-October, full moon in Aries, Halloween tarot special, okay? So it's a little bit of all of that, okay? The components of all those energies are definitely present, and we base the tarot question off of the full moon in Aries, Warrior's moon, energy that is going to be present up through the end of October, okay? So I wanted to, you know, have some fun and do kind of like a story time. So listen, guys, if you like are not into being read to, or you're not like a big reader of books, or I don't know, like, it's only 2 pages, okay? I promise you, I'm only reading 2 pages, but, yeah, hopefully you'll stick around and, listen. This is actually a really, really cool book. It's called Moon Phase Astrology, and it breaks down all the different moon phases in all the different zodiac signs, okay? So no matter what sign you were born under, no matter what your moon sign is, every single person was born on a specific moon phase. You would be able to find it in this book, and there is a very specific kind of energy, description, story that is attached to the moon phase, okay? So what I'm going to be reading is the full moon in Aries, okay? So the full moon in Aries is called the Warrior's moon, okay? And there is kind of a theme to the story, and that theme of the story is going to create the theme of our tarot reading, okay? Which is going to manifest throughout the end of October up through Halloween, where all the spirits and people and creatures and mythical figures come out from the other side, from the other realms and dimensions. They come out and play because they want you to know that they exist, okay? All these different archetypes, these things that people dress up as, no matter what it is, whether it's mythical or whether it exists in our present world, these are all ever so present in so many different realms of thought and imagination, and it's really just up to you what you want to make real and what you want to keep inside and harbor for another future event, okay, maybe in your next life. But I find Halloween very fascinating. I love Halloween. It's probably my favorite holiday. I love all the fall holidays, and I still love Christmas, even though that's technically winter, but I am a fall child. I was born in the fall. My astrological chart is literally like all fall signs. Like I'm all Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. That's literally like my whole chart. So yeah, I'm definitely a fall baby. I love this time of year. I love the vibe. I'm into it. Okay, I'm into it. So without further ado, I am going to shuffle my Deviant Moon Major Arcana Zodiac cards just to see who I'm talking to, because I still don't know who I'm talking to, okay? So that's how I'm doing these readings this time around, a little bit more spontaneous, just kind of as I record, I'm kind of choosing my zodiac sign. I used to do this in the past when I first started this channel, so it really just depends. Just depends on like my mood and stuff like that. Okay, so we have Aquarius, the star card, so I'll show this to you. I love this deck, the Deviant Moon Tarot. So we have the star card, so this is Aquarius. What's up, Aquarius? The deck I'm actually going to be using to do your tarot reading, though, is going to be the Murder of Crows Tarot, and we're going to clarify with the Pagan Cat Tarot Mini, okay? So, Aquarius, without further ado, let's get into this story, okay? Also, if you are in Aquarius rising, so just to throw this out, you could watch this video if you're an Aquarius sun, moon, or rising, okay? Doesn't matter. But, let's see. I just want to see where this full moon is transiting for you. So, the full moon in Aries is going to be transiting your 3rd house of friendship, community, relationships, siblings, communication, local travel, okay, community-related events. So if you are an Aquarius rising, this full moon, there could definitely be something that you are like, you know, you might have to face some demons in regards to friendship or sibling relationships or community dynamics. There could be someone or something or a cause specific to that, to those things, which you are wanting to fight, or which you are wanting to, or some inner demons that you are needing to fight in regards to maybe some friendships or sibling dynamics. Okay, so and you'll understand what I'm talking about after I read this full moon in Aries, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about what the theme of this tarot reading is going to be, okay? All right, so the warrior's moon, the full moon in Aries. The full moon in Aries sees the daring adventurer become the full-blown warrior who fights in honor for a good cause. The warrior has come a long way from the brigand who could not believe or trust in anything. His adventuring has shown him a wider world, and while he has seen its many trials and sorrows, he has also met brave souls trying their best to make it better. He decides that he is ready to become one of those brave souls, and he devotes himself to training for that job. Training is the first part of the warrior's path, and thus the warrior's moon. Fighting effectively is more than just running into the battle in blind wrath. The first demons that need to be subdued are the ones inside. And this is a lesson that the warrior must learn before he can pick up a sword. There is the demon of laziness. It's easier to skip over those little details or to ignore ambivalent truths in favor of writ large, easy to understand, sweeping generalizations, or to stay in bed that extra hour instead of getting up and running. There is the demon of pettiness, which chisels away at honor with its bitter little voice, telling the warrior how much better he ought to be treated, or how he isn't really understood, or how he ought to have to put up with all this hardship. There is the demon of impatience. I want to be on the front lines now. Never mind all this messing around with training and self-improvement. I'm sure that I could take the enemy now, no matter that he has 10 years more experience and twice the allies. And of course, there is the ever-present Mars demon of wrath. This will be the hardest one of all for the Aries warrior to wrestle down, and it is his greatest weakness. But any warrior who can be goaded into rage can be herded blindly into a fatal trap. These, more than any more specific skill, are the lessons that the warrior needs pounded into his head. After the training, there is the battle. Here's where courage shows its flag. The warrior must choose his cause carefully because he needs to be able to believe in it no matter how badly things go. The courage of Aries is based in his ideals. If you can't believe that it is a worthy goal, the battle is lost before it is begun. After his first battle, the warrior learns a potent truth, that if you have utter faith in the goal, it doesn't matter if you don't have complete faith in yourself to be the one to achieve it. Faith in the goal will pull you past your self-doubt. On the warrior's moon, we fight for what we believe in. This is a lone battle, and it is especially effective if we are fighting with no approval from others, and perhaps even in spite of their disapproval, although deliberately inducing disapproval is missing the point. Such battles need to be fought as if there is no audience, just the warrior and the enemy, and the innocents who must not be trampled, something that the warrior often forgets. The warrior's moon is also a time of grappling with the aforementioned demons and learning patience. It may be that the best use of this moon, if there are no external opportunities for fighting for a cause, is to choose one of those internal enemies to do battle with and dedicate the time to that lessening. People born under the warrior's moon need a cause that they can fight for with all of their heart. Remember that the moon is about emotions, and they must create room in their lives to make fighting for that cause into a spiritual quest. If they don't have a place to put their warrior energy, it will spurt out in aggressive, harmful ways that can ruin their relationships. If the rest of the chart is particularly introverted, that energy can turn inward and create health problems, nervous breakdowns, and nightmares. A warrior's moon person who frequently dreams about being besieged by enemies and losing dramatically should take this as a warning. You need to be fighting real battles in real life, either with your own internal demons or with external injustices, and preferably both. Warrior's moon people also tend to be combative in their personal relationships, and ideally they choose a partner who they can consider a comrade in arms. Someone who can push back when they push forward, but always in a loving way. A partner who is bearing the brunt of their combative instinct needs to set good boundaries and redirect their warrior outward. There is plenty of injustice in the world that makes battles over the breakfast toast recede in importance. Okay, Aquarius, so that is the warrior moon, okay, the full moon in Aries. So basically what we're going to be looking at is like, what is it that drives your emotions to want to fight a cause? And Aquarius, I feel like you can really kind of understand this energy of like something that you're passionate about, or something like, the good fight. Like, what is that good fight? Okay. But sometimes I do question, and sometimes I do wonder, Aquarius, if this fight is something, within you that is stemmed from a connection of the larger, like, human race, or is there something within you that, like, if there was nobody around, like in the book said, if there was actually nobody around to see you fight for a cause, if there was actually no one around to witness your personal the fight that you have for your beliefs, would that change? Are you fighting for, like, what are you fighting for within yourself? Okay, I feel like that is a really good question for you guys, because I feel like when we're talking about Aquarius energy and how it typically is the Aquarius energy that wants to fight for humanity, okay? It can be another cause. It can be the fight for another person's truth, the fight for another person's belief, right? And I kind of want you to look within yourself and to question within yourself, like, what are your own demons? What are the things that you should be fighting for yourself? Like, if it was just you and another enemy, if it was just the two of you and the two of you were the last people on earth, what would your enemy look like? Okay? If you didn't have the influence of society, if you didn't have like that, you know, another cause to fight for, like, what would you create within yourself? How would the demon look? How would your demon look if it stepped outside of itself and you had to face it? Okay? And it was just you and that person. So I find that question extremely interesting for you guys. Just something to kind of like think about. So that is kind of the theme of this reading. Okay, so we're going to see what demon it is that you are needing to fight. Okay, so with this full moon in Aries transiting, so if you are an Aquarius rising with it transiting your third house, it could have something, it could be related to sibling relationships. It could be related to friendships. It could be related to maybe like the immediate community in which you are surrounded by, okay? So that's if you're an Aquarius rising. But we're generally just, we're just going to take a look to see what it is that you're needing to fight, okay? So what is Aquarius needing to fight through the end of October? Okay, that came out. All right. Oh, very interesting. Your own truth. Okay, this is the Ace of Swords. This is air energy. This is your energy. So this is Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, okay? So instantly I was like, your own truth, okay? Like, to fight your own truth. So what is that truth? If you were to actually explain it to somebody, if you were to express your truth that comes from within you, that is inspired within you, that creates an epiphany within you, and you were to express that outward, from inside of you, from what's in your heart, you know, to be very clear about your communication and very clear about what it is that you think and what it is that you feel about things, what would that be? Okay. So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like needing to face, it's kind of almost like needing, it's almost like fighting your, you know, because other people, of course, have their truths, right? And other people are inspired by their own. So initially, like, even if you are fighting someone in real life, you know, it is kind of like you're fighting yourself, right? I mean, even if someone is completely on the opposite side of you and they're telling their truth in a very clear manner, and I mean, that is the fight, right? I don't know if that's making sense to you guys. Okay, this is really interesting. So the Lovers. Okay, for your next, and we are going to clarify these cards, the Lovers, okay? So, you know, immediately I thought, like, there's another side to you, Aquarius, okay? There's another side to you. And I also got this sense when I pulled this card that, like, you are like fighting your need to feel like you're fighting your need to feel like you need to be connected to another person, or that you need to, it's almost like you're fighting this idea in society that you need another person to complete you, okay? Or that you need a partner to be whole. It's almost like, and this is really interesting because this is Gemini energy. This is also your element. And I find this really interesting. It's kind of like standing up for your own individuality. Okay, standing up for your own individuality, or fighting the idea that there's always going to be some opposition, or there always needs to be some balance. It's almost like, it's kind of hard to explain. It's almost like this, how do I explain it? God, your guys' energy is like so interesting. How do I explain this? So there's a rejection here. There's a rejection here that you need another person to balance you out. Like I feel like you really want to believe that there is one truth, or that there is like one single truth that is the truth. Okay. And that is the way. And it's like, you don't want to accept that there are multiple truths. It's something deeper within you where like you feel like even those multiple truths still come together into a single truth. It's like, even if division is created, and even if like, I don't know, it's like you're holding that sword up high. You're holding that sword up like there is only one truth. My truth. This is really interesting. Okay, and then we have the Five of Cups. This is Mars and Scorpio. So this is like disappointment, loss, regret. Okay, this is not going to be an easy reading because when we're talking about fighting your demons, it's usually something that like you don't even really acknowledge that's within you. Like I feel like you don't want to be wrong. Like you have this vision and this feeling deep inside you about the future or how things should be. Very idealistic. A very idealistic kind of way about how the future should be, and like this like spiritual path that it's like, it's so hard for you to even fathom that it can be wrong, or that like maybe one day that vision, that truth, that belief can be a complete and utter nightmare for some people, or that like or that it can cause a lot of hurt and disappointment, regret, loss, okay? I mean, I know that you're not like, stupid. I know that you know that, when you fight for a cause or when you engage in war, like there's always going to be, right, casualties. There's always going to be, there is loss that comes from it. There is hurt and pain and disappointment and all that type of stuff that comes from anything that you're fighting for. Like something that you're fighting for, there's always going to be someone who's going to be hurt. Okay? But it's almost like you're refusing to, it's almost like you don't want to actually feel within you the truth of that reality, or you don't even want to think about how it might be hurting someone else, because you believe so strongly that the cause that you're fighting for is the right cause. So it's kind of like, well, sacrifices have to be made. Okay? So it's like there's this rejection almost that other human beings have their own feelings and truths. There's almost like this inner something within you that almost like kind of wants to reject this truth. And maybe that is the demon that you're needing to fight, is kind of like your own truth, as like your own truth as the end all be all, right? As the end all be all, especially if the universe is in a constant state of like motion, that maybe like, it's okay to open yourself up to multiple dimensions of experience and multiple realities, and the fact that people do experience reality in very different ways. Okay. Okay, so let's clarify. Let's see what this Ace of Swords is all about. Okay, so we have Judgment. Oh, very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Okay, so we have Judgment. That's Pluto energy. Pluto energy is all about transformation, death and rebirth, rise of the phoenix, like afraid of being judged. Like there is, there's a lot of concern for what others think. The Knave of Pentacles is going to be the, okay, so that's the Page of Pentacles. So that's Earth energy, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Okay, so manifestation in a practical way. Okay, so it's like practical manifestation of your dreams, your wants, your desires, your wishes. Okay, so it's almost like, and then we have the Knight of Chalices. Okay, so the Knight of Cups, that's Pisces energy. Okay. So, all right, Aquarius. So it is almost like you are facing the demon of your higher self, or it's almost like you are needing to fight this higher vision that you have of yourself. You know, you want to push through and transform the judgments that you're even placing upon yourself, okay, and move forward with practical assessment for the future and of your surroundings in like in a practical kind of way. But I also do see you coming from a place of love, okay? I do see you coming from a place of love, and it's like this, you know, this belief structure of yours, or this fight of yours does come from the heart space. Okay, so I am seeing that it is coming from the heart space. It's because you do care for people. It's like you feel like it's because you do care for people. Okay, let's clarify the lovers. So we have the Three of Wands, which is the Sun in Aries. The Nine of Wands, that's Moon in Sagittarius. And the Wheel of Fortune, that is Jupiter. I feel like you're guarded. I feel like it's like you're always waiting for the, it's almost like you are waiting for your soul. I feel like you do, it's like you're fighting the need or the desire to like wait for that one person who will complete you, or like not complete you, but who you feel will meet you on your level of like intelligence, or like who will meet you with your truth, or who will be like a proper match for you. But there's also some defenses going on inside you because you know, it's like you value your own independence and individuality and freedom, and you want to know that you are creating your own life and your own destiny and your own fate, and that it's not like maybe like controlled by some outer force. Oh, wow, you got the Lovers again. Okay. So there could actually very well be a connection in your life right now, okay, because we pulled another Lovers card over here with that's falling under the Disappointment card. More Gemini energy, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles, yeah, Venus in Virgo. So you are like, it's like you don't want to feel disappointed. You don't want to feel like you have lost something. Like you're very guarded. Okay, I feel like you're very guarded with your heart. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna take this Eight of Pentacles. Okay, I feel like you are very guarded. And it's like when you realize that it's a lot of hard work. Like you realize that relationships are a lot of hard work. And like, you know that if it's for the right person, you're going to take the necessary steps to, like work on it and to actually give your energy to the relationship. But there's something here I feel like maybe if you are in a specific connection right now, there is some disappointment here. There is some sense of loss. There is a sense of regret. And it's like, I feel like you are kind of fighting the desire to allow those you're fighting those feelings, or the desire to allow those feelings to affect your decisions. Okay? You don't want the feeling of disappointment and loss and regret to affect, like, those are your emotions. Those are something, that's what you're feeling because maybe this person is behaving a certain kind of way or is acting a certain kind of way. But it's like you're fighting the desire to view that person or to judge that person based on your own feelings of them. Okay? So it's like you're fighting the demons of like your emotions, of like the negativity that maybe comes, that is attached to a certain person, but you don't want to think that this person is really capable of that, you know, like they are their own individual, they have their own set of emotions and experiences, and they experience things in their own way, and so you don't want like to allow your own feelings and emotions to affect your judgment. Okay, so I feel like you're really taking your emotions and you're bringing it to to a higher state of consciousness, a higher state of awareness, and allowing, you know, yourself not to, not allowing your feelings basically to control you or to control your mind, even though you feel them. Like, even though you might feel those feelings, I don't see you ever showing it to this other person. I don't really see you expressing those feelings and those emotions to this person. Okay? You show yourself very strong, independent, like you got your shit together, like you're just focusing on the matter at hand, you know, you're doing your job, you're making your money, you're independent, you're just doing your thing, right? You're just doing your thing. And it's like I said, you're working hard. Okay, so what basically what I'm seeing over here is that you do have this tendency, like you feel like I feel like your personal fight at the end of this, Aquarius, like your battle is between your emotions and your mind. Okay, that's your battle. Between your emotions and your mind. And not allowing your emotions to premeditate or to control how you take action in the world, especially if it is going to be in regards to a partnership or to like a lover type situation. Okay. I feel for many of you, there is somebody present in your life, whether you are currently in a love relationship with them, or it's someone that, you know, you are feeling a strong kind of connection to, and you're trying not to let like your emotions get the best of you type of thing. Because maybe, you know, they are, you know, they could also be, this person could be someone who's maybe more sensitive than you. This person could be someone who has maybe more of that water energy and who feels things a little more. And maybe like that disappoints you. So it's very possible that the fact that this person allows his emotions to control him in a way that's not really appealing to you, I think maybe that might disappoint you as well. So it's almost like, you know, but at the same time, you're trying really hard, maybe like not to let yourself become too affected by their issues. Like, you know what I mean? All right. So I hope that's making sense, Aquarius. What did I do with that book? Oh, here it is. Okay. So for your very final card, just to kind of wrap up this reading, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. This was actually a really good one. I really like this one. I pulled a final oracle card I can't talk, from the Mausoleo Oracle of Souls. This is a super cool deck. So you pulled Arawan, and I am going to read about it from this book. It's very short. Arawan, Master of the Great Hunt. Authority, the hunt, natural balance. Okay. Natural balance. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. The Afterworld of Arawan. The master of the great hunt is the lord of his domain, in the sense that he embodies its nature. His power supports his interests, but does not dictate after the fashion of a tyrant, nor attempt to govern it. Those who serve him do so out of loyalty rather than fear, and pursue those paths which are natural to themselves. Arwen directs one to follow one's nature, rather than attempting to orchestrate others in pursuit of the most important quarry of all. Okay, so like immediately as I was reading that, I was like, yeah. So you do want people, it's like you do want people to follow their own natural, you know, like path without being influenced by authority or whatever, or this or that. But when you do see within somebody else that they are allowing themselves to be controlled maybe by some like deeper emotions, or maybe some things that are going within them that perhaps was kind of instilled from childhood, or maybe their beliefs or their like emotions or the things that they are being driven by, you personally think is like a construction of society or construction of some past truth that they were brought up in. And it's like, you want them to be smarter than that, you know? You want them to follow their own guiding light and their own like spiritual truth, okay? So that is, because that is your truth, it's like you are fighting when in accordance to the world around you. It's like you have to fight other people's truths, which to you is not even really their, like you don't even see their truths as their truths. It's like a construct that was instilled in them perhaps from birth. And it's like maybe that is your frustration because you want people to discover their own inner truths, okay? So this is the reading that I have for you, Aquarius. Let me know, leave a comment, talk to me. I would be happy to hear your feedback and your comments about this. And happy Halloween, and I hope you enjoy the rest of October, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.